Potomac, we are beginning to see as authorities try to determine what caused that deadly midair collision over the Potomac, we are beginning to see the faces and hear the stories of the 67 lives lost. Today, the Army identifying two of its service members on board the Black Hawk, Staff Sergeant Ryan O'Hara of Georgia and Chief Warrant Officer Andrew Lloyd Eves of Maryland. Lindsay Fields, the president-elect of the National Association of Biology Teachers, was flying from Wichita, Kansas to Washington to advocate for excellence in life science education, according to the association. And Kia Duggins, a civil rights attorney, was said to become a professor at Howard University Law School in the fall.
Her conviction is what stood out the most to me. Seeing how passionate she was about the work that she was doing and for such a good cause.
Elizabeth Keys being remembered as a strong, fearless woman who embraced life at full speed.
We are one family. I speak to you this morning in an hour of anguish. We are one family, and today we are all heartbroken. We're all searching for answers. The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. Can you imagine?
Are you saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support these claims?
It just could have been. We have a high standard. We've had a much higher standard than anybody else. And there are things where you have to go by brain power, you have to go by psychological quality, and psychological quality is a very important element of it. These are various very powerful tests that we put to use, and they were terminated by Biden, and Biden went by a standard that's the exact opposite.
When you monetize a tragedy to kiss up to right-wingers, you deserve to get sued. Hey y'all, Gravity, any day above ground with it, so you already know what to do. Share, like, and subscribe. That's right, share, like, and subscribe, because I'm not like other YouTubers. I'm different. This, I hope, happens more and more. Like, seriously. Again, prayers to the victims and the families of that deadly air crash back in D.C. January. That should never have happened. And we should always remember that life is short. Time is precious. But for Matt Wallace, who you saw before the intro, yeah, his time, we don't care about. His life, I hope this woman takes it all. Now, for those who don't remember, as we said, this was in regards to the deadly D.C. plane crash back in January. 67 people on the plane lost their lives. I believe 2 or 3 people or 4 on the helicopter lost their lives. And of course, since we were in the DEI arc, everybody was saying, oh, I bet you they were black. Oh, I bet you it was a woman. Okay, let's wait. Let's see the investigation, see what pans out. Oh, but them right-wingers ran for it. All them left-wingers that love MAGA, they ran with it, said that it was all that. So we said, okay, we're gonna hang back. And then it comes out that it was 2 white men that flew the helicopter. And everybody was quiet after that. But in between them being loud and them being quiet, people like Matt Wallace decided to go say that this person, Jo Ellis, was the pilot of the helicopter from the Army. And of course, you know, right-wing Twitter ran with it. They were making hella money off the post. Elon allowed this. It was misinformation, family. And you know, allegedly he has rules on there about misinformation, but you know, Section 230, he can't get sued. I wish he didn't have it, but you know, that's another subject for another day. This Matt Wallace idiot did this, ruined this woman's life. And, you know, if you go down the rabbit hole, you know, she came out as a woman last year and, you know, it is what it is. She actually served her country, unlike Matt. She said that she woke up to people sending her messages saying, "Are you all right?" They're saying on the news that you were the person that flew the helicopter, things of that nature. And she finally had to come outside and say, "Listen, I'm good." So I don't even know where this came from. But by then, because she said this happened 2 days after the crash, her life was thrust into the public sphere. So now she's like, okay, since y'all wanted to put my stuff out there, I'm fixing to put your stuff out there. You gonna get sued. And from what I read in the lawsuit, she said she's not suing to get any monetary compensation out of it for herself. She's getting it for the victims. That's what she's gonna do if she wins anything. I want you to sue that man for $167 million. Nah, you know what? That's too much. Lawyers get what, 33 1/3, 200 million. Because the lawyer gonna get his, and then that way you can give close to each person that lost their lives, including the Army people. You give them almost like $1 million. I think that'd be nice. Let Matt tweet his BS for the rest of his life so he could pay off them people. Because this was irresponsible journalism, if you want to call it that. And that makes people who do content, it makes us look bad. Because again, as I've told people on this platform, when you create content, when you push the record button or you write captions with pictures or whatever, even just something that you typed up, your thoughts, you have a responsibility to the people that you're sending this to have integrity. If you don't have integrity, there's no reason that you should even be doing this. Because eventually you're going to slip up and people are going to call you out on this. And you could go look up Matt's thing. It's Matt Wallace 888 on X. People have been calling him out for as long as I've been aware of his existence, of him shock posting, him just posting random stuff. He writes posts talking about, oh, this is about to be exposed in 48 hours, and then nothing gets exposed. But he's just doing it to keep a check so he can keep it in his house. And now he'll learn. And I hope the rest of you white wingers learn, because as you're going to see in subsequent videos, they still haven't learned this lesson. So I guess everybody needs their wake-up call now. Oh, shoot. The phone made it out of StreamYard. That's what's up. But yeah, you know. Good. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. You already know what to do. Share, like, and subscribe. That's right. Share, like, and subscribe, because I'm not like other YouTubers. I'm different. Take care. Stay safe. I'm out.